Oh, hang on, hold on. When you're ready. Okay, good evening, and welcome to the 13th meeting of the 13th elected Town Council of Happy Valley-Goose Bay. You have your agenda in front of you. I would, anybody needs to add anything to the agenda? I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Moved by Councillor Winters, seconded by Councillor Bennett. Any discussion? All those in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, we've adopted the agenda. I don't see any delegations, but I will ask, do we have any delegations? No delegations?
No.
Okay, wonderful. All right, we have 2 sets of minutes to adopt. I will adopt, or ask for a motion to adopt the minutes of the 11th Town Council meeting that was held on February the 22nd. I have a motion for that. Motion by Councillor Rumbold, seconded Councillor Bennett. Any discussion? Any errors or omissions? All right, all those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay. We also had another meeting on the 11th of March, or sorry. Yep, 11th of March. The 12th minutes, they're in front of you. That's been passed out, so I would ask for a motion to accept those minutes. Moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace, seconded by Councillor Winters. Any discussion? Errors or omissions? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion is passed, and we've adopted the minutes. Moving down to correspondence, the only item I see there of correspondence is just an update from the Municipal Assessment Agency in terms of the board. Don't think there's any other correspondence that needs to be addressed at this time, Ms. McCauley. All right, so we'll move into community planning and development, and I'll pass the floor over to Councillor Duffett. Or sorry, Deputy Mayor Wallace. I'm ahead of my time.
Not a worry.
Yep.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Planning and Development Committee met on Wednesday, February, oh, I've got the wrong time. Was it March 11th? 9th. What was the date? March 9th.
March 9th?
9th. Wrong month. March 9th, 2022. In attendance was Councillor Duffett, Councillor Broomfield, CAO Nadine McCauley, Mark Urquhart, GIS Paul Zhao, Kathy Eddy, Waylon Williams, and myself, Deputy Mayor Wallace. Meeting was called to order 4:32 p.m. The previous agenda was accepted with no errors or omissions. Discussion around the necessary recruitment for a community development and research manager obviously was in place, and we discussed that as the recruitment process for this position has commenced. Again, there were noticeably more Crown land applications as well as discretionary land use applications received. These show businesses as well as residents are following correct protocols, as was last month. Ensuring business applications and development applications are submitted prior to work commencing. Business and developments that are not registered with the town may experience a stop work order. We again encourage all to follow correct protocols and have the necessary applicable applications submitted. This applies to home-based business and commercial businesses. The CPD committee was adjourned at 6:01 p.m. and the next meeting will be held April 13th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. We have we have applications recommendations to follow. Please accept this as my CPD committee report is being read.
Okay, it's been moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace to accept her report as presented from the CPD committee. Seconder, Councillor Brumfield. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? All right, proceed with your recommendations, please,
Wonderful,
Deputy
thank
Mayor.
you. We have 159312 Headley Hallwell. The CPD committee recommends council have no objection to the Crown Land application 159312 on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
All right, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we recommend no objection to a Crown Land application 159312. Seconded by Councillor Bennett. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary minded? All right, next recommendation, please.
Wonderful. Recommendation 159364 Nushuk Plumbing. The CPD committee recommends council have no objection to the Crown Land application 159364 with the following condition: compliance with all the town's development regulations.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we have no objection to a Crown Land application 159364. Seconded by Councillor Bennett. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Motion's passed. Next recommendation, please.
159387 Birch Island. The CPD committee recommends to defer the application as clarification is needed. Is that,
Thank you.
did I skip
C?
one?
See?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
My mistake, I missed
No,
one. I'll
no
go back one.
Yep.
159379 Vanessa Fewer. The CPD committee recommends council deny Crown Land application 159379 as residential use is not permitted or discretionary use in the OSPT zone.
All right, move to decline an application 159379. Moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace, seconded by Councillor Duffett. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? All right, motion's passed.
Next one.
Yep.
159387 Birch Island. The CPD committee recommends to defer the application as clarification is needed with respect to who the applicant is and whether or not the town would be the applicant, and if this applicant is related to a previous application for the Trapper's Tilt.
Okay, moved by Deputy Wallace that we, I guess defer would probably be we would defer that application? Would that be right? Okay. Defer the application 159387. Moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace, seconded by Councillor Brumfield. All those, or any further discussion?
Right here. To defer means not being declined, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary minded? Motion is passed. And just as a point of order, would we necessarily have to have deferral come before council?
We do because of the timelines
Timelines.
involved.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
That's right.
All right, next item.
Next one is HBB Chris Kavanagh, 9 Ike Street. The CPD committee recommends council approve the application from Chris Kavanagh for a home-based business located at 9 Ike Street with the following conditions: a fire and life safety inspection as per NFPA 101 be satisfactorily completed at the applicant's cost. Applicant provides an application for a business registration change of use at the applicant's cost. Compliance with all the town's development regulations with special reference to section 6.0 accessory use, 6.3 home business and a residential land use class. An applicant obtains all required approvals from Service NL or any government agencies having jurisdiction.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we accept the home-based business application for 9 Ike Street. Seconded. Councillor Duffett, second. Any discussion? Further discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Okay, recommendations accepted. Next one.
Home-based business, Catherine T. Paranog, 8 Hope Street. The CPD committee recommends council approve the application from Catherine T. Paranog for a home-based business located at 8 Hope Street with the following conditions: a fire and life safety inspection as per NFPA 101 be satisfactorily completed at the applicant's cost. Applicant provides an application for a business registration change of use at the applicant's cost. Compliance with all the town's development regulations with special reference to section 6.0 accessory use, 6.3 home business in a residential land use class. Applicant obtains all required approvals from Service NL or any government agencies having jurisdiction.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we accept the home-based business at 8 Hope Street. Seconded, Councillor Bennett. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, recommendations passed. Next recommendation, please.
Thank you. Home-based business, Mark Urquhart, 19 River Crescent. The CPD committee recommends council approve the application from Mark Urquhart for a home-based business located at 19 River Crescent with the following conditions. A fire and life safety inspection as per NFPA 101 be satisfactorily completed at the applicant's cost. Applicant provides an application for a business registration, change of use, at the applicant's cost. Compliance with all the town's development regulations with special reference to section 6.0 accessory use, 6.3 home business in a residential land use class. Applicant obtains all required approvals from Service NL or any government agencies having jurisdiction.
All right, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace, we accept a home-based business at 19 River Crescent. Any, or seconder? Seconded by Councillor Winters. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Motion's passed. Next item?
All right, moving on, we have a variance application. Chris Meredin at 8 Thompson Drive. The CPD committee recommends council approve the application from Chris Meredin for a 10% side yard width variance for 8 Thompson Drive with the following conditions. The variance is for 10%, changing the side yard width from 3 meters to 2.7 meters. Compliance with all the town's development regulations. That any required approvals for any authorities having jurisdiction for this type of product be obtained. That a location certificate be provided to the town once work is completed.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we accept a variance application at 8 Thompson Drive. Seconded? Seconded by Councillor Bennett. Discussion? I just have a question in terms of the third bullet. Any required approvals by authorities having jurisdiction for this type of product be obtained. So do we follow up? Does he come back to us, or how does the process, or what happens in that regard?
Normally, Mayor, any other, all construction in the town has to follow the National Building Code.
Okay.
So it's up to the individual to ensure that all approvals
Okay.
and construction standards are followed, so.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, recommendation has passed. That's it from your
No,
committee?
one more recommendation. Yeah, one more home-based business. Nancy Gauthier at 1 Green Street. The CPD committee recommends council approve the application for Nancy Gauthier for a home-based business located at 1 Green Street with the following conditions. A fire and life safety inspection as per NFPA 101 be satisfactorily completed at the applicant's cost. Applicant provides an application for a business registration change of use at the applicant's cost. Compliance with all the town's development regulations with special reference to section 6.0 accessory use, 6.3 home business in a residential land use class. And the applicant obtains all required approvals from Service NL or any government agencies having jurisdiction.
Okay, it's been moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace. We accept a home-based business at 1 Green Street. Seconded by Councillor Duffett. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Motion is passed.
All done.
All right. So we will move to Community Service and Recreation. Councillor Duffett, floor is yours.
Oh.
For reports
Yes.
first?
You going to, oh, sorry. Yes. We're going to move recommendations, Councillor Duffett. Councillor Winter, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. The CSR Committee report for March 2022. Meeting took place March 7, 2022, called to order at 4:32 p.m. In attendance were Committee Chair via telephone, Deputy Mayor Wallace, Councillor Duffett, Mayor Andrews as ex officio, CAO Nadeem McCauley, PR and Special Events Manager William Williams, Program Coordinator Ann Morris, and Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy. Regrets were from Engineer Randy Dillon. Review of previous minutes and action items, there were no errors or omissions. There were discussions and new business. 13 items of discussion that included the Great Benjamin Circus visit in August, review of the athlete recognition policy, application for active NL funding, discussions of proposed helmet policy to be discussed again at a later CSR meeting. 3 letters were received and discussed regarding the decisions regarding each and replies. Also discussion regarding Atlantic Recreation and Facilities Conference and Trade Show and representation from the town. Discussion regarding review of signage of all town-owned facilities. Information item, there was a summer recreation schedule proposed by David Roberts for review and will be discussed with the CSR director when the position is filled. There was an update on the vacant CSR director position. This position is still vacant and the town is re-advertising for the position. There was a review of February's manager's report that was provided prior to the CSR committee meeting regarding updates on programs and facility usage. The next meeting date is scheduled for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. The meeting adjourned at 7:12 p.m. Move to accept this report as presented.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Winters that we accept the Community Service Recreation report as presented. Seconded by Councillor Bennett. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, we accepted the CSR report. Now I'll turn the floor over to Councillor Duffett for CSR recommendations. Yep. So, Councillor, as it's an issue dealing with the McLean Street Playground, Councillor Bennett and Councillor Winters are in conflict, so they will vacate the chambers. We'll deal with the issue. Okay, Councillor Duffin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Service and Recreation Committee recommends that council approve the design and list of equipment as per the attached drawing, less the installation of the rail rider and the construction of the parking lot at this time.
Okay, moved by Councillor Duffett to approve the design and the equipment as per the attached drawing. Seconded by Councillor Broomfield. Discussion. So, yep, sorry, go ahead. No, floor is yours.
So as you'll see in the diagram that you have there, there is the X on the parking lot, so that will not be, that's not in the plan anymore. There's a couple of structures labeled A, B, and C. Currently, the funds aren't in place for these structures, and I have them labeled A, B, and C in order of what will be priority if we do get those funds back. Due to the timeline delays, there was some money that was lost from donations from businesses in and around the community, which is unfortunate. But right now, the money is in place for the structures that aren't labeled A, B, and C.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Humboldt?
Councillor Duffett, you said A and B would possibly be revisited if funds are available,
Correct.
but C is off the table altogether? C is the rail rider
Yeah.
and just not suitable?
Well, we're asking that the rail rider not be part of the plan at this time, or, you know, it won't be part of the plan at all. Simply because we are taking away the proposed parking lot. So in an effort to try to keep the traffic down, we believe that the rail rider would cause a bit of traffic since it's a playground item that's not at any of the other playgrounds around town.
Makes sense, thank you.
Okay. Any other further discussion? All right. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, motion is passed. Can we ask that this be put on our website?
Who's the
Please.
seconder of that, sorry?
Councillor Brumfield. Sorry. And I'm not sure if maybe if we could remove what's not going to be
Yeah, so you
and
just have
put
the plan.
the other, if we could get a better drawing so that people could easily look at it and see what the end result will be. And if you want to, my suggestion would be the 2A and B, if they're potentially going to be when additional funds are available from the group, then you could probably leave them there maybe. But it's just so that residents get an idea of what exactly it's going to be. I think that should be possible, I think. Did we produce this document?
Yeah, I don't see any issue with
Yeah,
that,
okay.
Mayor.
All right, thank you. Because I think there's an area for playground update on the project's part anyway, right? So, yeah, okay.
Sure.
Perfect. No additional recommendations from Community Services and Recreation, so we will move into, or actually, sorry, can we get the gentleman back? I seen her finger go up, and you right at the same time.
Hang on.
Yeah. The CAO didn't forget you. I was about to move on and I saw her finger go up, so welcome back. Okay, Finance, Administration and Policy Committee report. Councillor Brumfield, the floor is yours.
Okay. The Finance and Administration Committee policy met on March the 15th at 4:30. Present was myself and the chair, Councillor Rumbold, Councillor Bennett via telephone, CAO McCauley, Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy, and SAT Miles. We reviewed your previous minutes and there was no issues with anything, so everything was good there. We had a few, this month here was mostly discussion items more than any action items. We had a couple of requests for business tax exemptions. All this we go into detail as any resolutions. We had 3 business donation requests, and then we had 4 youth travel donation requests for various sports organizations, which is really the bulk of what our donation policy is for. The other item we discussed, again, is the audit update. We did have a new DFO. He has since moved on. We have now hired another DFO. So hopefully we'll get this settled away much sooner than later, because we are talking since 2017, and it's before this council came on that we are responsible for it still, right? So we still have to get a push on that to get that one done. As well, we have attached the manager's reports for this month from SAT Miles, from a DFO, and from my communications PR manager, who provided the stats for the month of February. Other than that, like I said, most items were information items, and there's a couple of resolutions. Other than that, that was it for this meeting. We adjourned at 6:02, and then we set the date for our next meeting on April the 19th. And that's what we discussed at this meeting for this month.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Brumfield. Moved by Councillor Brumfield, we accept the Finance and Policy report as presented. Seconder, Councillor Rumbold. Discussion? All those in favor? Indicate with aye. Contrary minded? Motion is passed. All right, so we will go into recommendations, but our first recommendation, Councillor Duffett?
Yeah, I would like to ask council if I am in conflict of interest for this first one. I'm the secretary on the board of directors for Mokomi Status of Women Council. Although I have no monetary interest in the matter, I guess you could consider myself financially responsible in a sense, but no financial gain.
So, do you want to provide some input into this particular?
Well, she's declared possible conflicts, and now council needs to vote on it.
Yeah.
So Councillor Duffett can
Yeah.
leave the room while
Yep.
the rest of council debates and makes a vote.
Thank you. I won't forget you.
We'll make sure.
I'll get another,
It was a good finger.
I know, indeed. Okay, as she's indicated, she serves as secretary, I guess, on the board of directors for Mokomi Status of Women. and she's asking for council's, I guess, decision in whether she's in conflict or not. And of course, it's our decision that we make will be final, whether it is or isn't. So I'll open the floor. Would you like to provide any advice or guidance?
Except for a council discussion.
Councillor Rumble?
I'm just looking at the request, and I was hoping that it said on behalf of,
Yes.
but it doesn't. It just says, we are writing to request an exemption. So because it says we, it was signed and submitted by the finance and admin officer, but because she precludes it with we, I would interpret that to be we, the operating board of the Mokomi Status of Women, in which case I do think Councillor Duffett is probably better off, not abstaining, but removing herself.
I think that, I think the current legislation, and I just trying to recall it, but I think it's, if you're an officer of any board, or if you're an employee, or if you're an officer of the organization. So I think in this, my opinion would be that I think she is in conflict with this particular request, but that's my thing. Anybody else? Any further discussion from anybody?
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I think in conflict.
I agree.
So you need to call.
Floor is
for a
yours.
vote for
Yeah,
that?
no, I'm waiting.
No, I had nothing to discuss.
Okay,
with
all
you,
right.
just something like
So
that.
in terms of, I guess what I'll do is put it to a vote in terms of if council thinks that she is in conflict, indicate with aye.
Aye.
Okay, contrary minded? All right, so we find that she is in conflict for this particular, recommendation. Do we bring them back in and tell her now, or do we just proceed with the
No,
other?
we had to vote on
Proceed
it.
Yeah,
with-
I mean,
Yeah,
proceed on
proceed
the
with
other.
the motion,
Okay.
we'll bring her back after.
All right, so,
Makes sense.
all right, so I'll turn the floor back to Councillor Brumfield for recommendations, this particular recommendation, and I'll bring her back in.
Okay, the Financial Administration Policy Committee has a couple of recommendations. The first two are dealing with business tax exemption. A request from property 079571002. The FAP Committee recommends council approve to grant an exemption of business tax to the Mokomi Status of Women for Thrifty Fashions for 2021 in the amount of $750.66. And to write off interest accrued to date in the amount of $67.59.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield that we grant an exemption of business tax to Thrifty Fashions in the said amount, and also to write off the accrued interest. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? Okay, all those in favour indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Okay, motion is passed. Can we ask her to come back in? You only got to tell me once.
And you let her know.
Hmm?
You let her know that she was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to advise you, it wasn't that long a discussion on your particular item. You were found to be in conflict by council, and we went ahead and proceeded with the recommendation.
Thank you.
All right, number 2, or letter B.
Okay, the second one again is another business tax exemption request. The FAP Committee recommends council defer the application for property and business tax exemption pending a meeting between the Emerald Golf and Sports Club and council to clarify the information provided.
Okay, it's moved that we, by Councillor Brumfield, that we, I guess, defer business tax exemption request from Emerald Golf and Sports Club by seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Discussion?
Yeah, it says here, like, a meeting between the golf club and council. Would that be committee or council?
Committee,
I would suggest committee, yeah.
and that has been scheduled.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it on the next committee meeting, or is it a different date?
The meeting is taking place separate,
Okay,
and
All
so that any items that may be requested will be available
Yep.
at the next.
Okay.
meeting.
And that's
All
with the finance.
all right. Any further discussion? I'm just debating whether it should be changed or not, but we all under the understanding that it is council meeting committees. All those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Recommendation is passed. The next one, sir?
Okay, the next item is dealing with donation requests. The Happy Valley-Goose Bay Public Library, the FAP Committee recommends council approve a cash contribution to the Happy Valley-Goose Bay Library Board in the amount of $5,000, which is our annual grant we give to them.
So it's been moved by Councillor Brumfield that donation request of $5,000 to the public library, seconded by Councillor Duffett. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Motion, recommendation is passed. The next one, please, sir.
Next one is a donation request from the Ground Search and Rescue. The FAP Committee recommends council approve a cash contribution to the Happy Valley-Goose Bay Ground Search and Rescue Team in the amount of $1,000.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield, a donation request of $1,000 be provided to the Ground Search and Rescue Team. Seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Recommendation is passed. Next recommendation.
Okay, the next one is a donation request from the Labrador Hunting and Fishing Association. The FAP Committee recommends council provide a letter of support to the Hunting and Fishing Association to aid them in leveraging funds to construct a boardwalk and birdwatching blind near their property at the main dock.
Okay, moved by Councillor Brumfield that we write a letter of support to the Labrador Hunting and Fishing Association so they can aid in leveraging funds. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion?
I have a question.
Yep.
So this was a letter asking for a donation, and in turn, we're giving them a letter for support.
What's that?
This was a letter asking for a donation,
Yes,
and in turn, we're giving them a letter of support?
yes.
Okay, is there a reasoning for that? Will we wait to see
Well,
how the project progresses, or?
we're looking at, this is really not a donation request. The amount is $5,000. This is an organization that's getting probably about $1 million from the feds. And we just felt that our donation requests should be going to individual sporting or individuals more than businesses.
Councillor Rumbold.
Councillor Duff, just the wording in the request, when we reviewed it, it says, we would like to request a donation of $5,000 from the town's donation budget to assist us in leveraging the $55,000 we have estimated to complete this project. So with discussion, we decided that at this time, we would provide the letter of support. If it doesn't progress, then we would anticipate that the Labrador Hunting and Fishing Association could come back to us at that time and say, thank you for the letter of support. However, it was not what we needed in order to leverage the money that we needed. So we said we'd start with the letter of support, see if that would be enough for them to leverage that money. And if they couldn't, then we can, I'm sure, revisit. But yeah, the request was worded from them that they were looking for a donation to assist them in leveraging. So the letter of support, we're hopeful, will be what they need to leverage the money that they need for the project.
Thank you.
Good for you. Okay. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor with the letter of support to the Hunting and Fishing Association indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? All right, next item, please.
Okay, the
Sorry
next
about
item,
Oh, sorry.
Councillor Broomfield, I'm on the committee for this. I feel I should declare a conflict.
so one of your children would be one of the giving funds, right?
No, this one, the Labrador Soccer Cup.
So you're on the actual committee?
Yeah,
Do you hold an office, or?
no.
Okay,
Should I
so,
leave to discuss,
well,
or?
we'll have the conversation as per we're
You're on the
supposed to.
organizing committee for the event?
Yes.
So I'll ask you to vacate the chambers and we'll have a discussion. I guess it's the joys of living in a small town and everybody's involved in a whole bunch of stuff, but to protect everybody's best interest. So she's indicated that she is on the organizing committee. Did you want, we'll deal with the conflict of interest perspective first. So, and I guess what it is the group has asked for I guess what would result in a monetary donation or a waiving of fees for the arena for the actual competition. So, councils feel in terms of the conflict or no conflict?
I would think no conflict. It sounds as more of an in-kind floor fees, really, floor time rather than monetary.
That's the request, but it would be a loss of revenue for the town.
Yeah.
And she's representing the Labrador Soccer Cup as a member of the committee.
Yeah, and
that's no different than.
yeah, I would suggest this, yeah, that, you know, I would see that this would have an implication on the organization either positively or negatively in terms of if this recommendation is approved, the organization saves a considerable amount of money. If it's not approved, then it really would affect the
Well, we're
organization's
talking
bottom.
like about $5,000 too, right?
Yeah, because it is for that amount of time. Anybody else, discussion-wise? All right, so I'll go to the same as I did previous. Councillors feel that the Deputy Mayor of Wallace in this particular issue is in conflict. Indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay. What I would ask as well, so we'll deal with this issue, but can we also jump ahead to number I, because she was going to declare conflict as her daughter is part of that donation
Yeah,
request.
that's
So can we deal with this one first?
Does she
And then
have
we'll
to
jump to that
declare
one,
where
so
it's
she-
a
yeah, so she-
separate-
Yeah,
Like, that's what I mean, would she have to come
but
back?
she won't be in the room,
Okay.
right? So we could deal with that in that regard, right? Okay. All right, so let's proceed with this particular donation request. Councillor Broomfield?
So the soccer one, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. The Labrador Soccer Cup, the FAP committee recommends council deny the request from Labrador Soccer Cup committee to waive arena rental fees for the period May 31st to June the 5th, which is the duration of their event.
Okay, it's been moved that, by Councillor Brumfield, that we deny the request for waiving arena rental fees for the Lab Cup. All those in, or sorry, seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, recommendation is passed. So can we jump ahead to recommendation I, please? And just a record note that Deputy Mayor Wallace is still on it.
Okay, the next one is youth travel assistance, the Lake Milva Soccer Club. And as well, has been pointed out that Deputy Mayor Wallace has been declared conflict of interest, so she's not here for this one. The FAP committee recommends council approve a cash contribution of $200 for each of the following participants: Taylor Wallace, Philip Snow, Matthew Connect, Ashley Adams, and Logan Smith, to assist with travel-related costs to participate in provincial soccer teams.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield that we extend the $200 per person for the listed names to participate in the provincial soccer teams. Seconded by Councillor Duffett. Any further discussion? Councillor Rumble.
Just a point of clarity, Mayor, I just want to make sure, because we've declared Deputy Mayor Wallace for the Labrador Soccer Cup Committee, which was item F, and item I says Lake Melville Soccer Club. They are one and the same, or
No,
are they
they're
two
not, but
separate entities?
it's her daughter that's,
Okay, so we
yeah,
don't
so
need to.
it's a family member.
Okay, no, just wanted to
All
clear
right,
it up. Thank
good,
you.
good point. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, recommendation is passed. Could we re-enter the Deputy Mayor, please? All right, so council has declared you in conflict for the Labrador Soccer Club request, and at the same time, while you're absent, we've dealt with the
Oh, good.
item I as well, so you didn't have to leave again.
Thank you.
All right, okay, next item. Next
Okay, the
recommendation.
next item is again youth travel assistance, Snowflake Figure Skating Club. The FAP committee recommends council approve a cash contribution of $200 for each of the following participants: Jersey McNeil, Blake Gillum, Mackenzie Pye, Chloe Lushman, and Layla Whalen to assist with travel-related costs to compete at the provincial level in March and April.
Okay, moved by Councillor Brumfield that we extend again $200 to each of the listed participants to attend provincial competition in March and April. Although, seconded by Councillor Bennett. Any further discussion? I do believe it's Blair Gillum, not Blake Gillum.
Yeah.
Blair, B-L-A-I-R-E?
Could be.
No, it is.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
The application wasn't clear.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, any further discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, recommendation. Oh,
Going to have to declare a conflict. I just realized my nephew's on this judo club application.
I don't think nephew, does nephew come in? I don't think niece-nephew comes into the conflict.
Just
No.
gotta put it out there.
Does he live with you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm, based on conversation I had with Municipal Affairs, not on this item, but a previous item, nieces, nephews, that kind of stuff doesn't, it's gotta be spouse, daughter, son, immediate family. So you're good.
Okay.
You comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, next recommendation, please.
So we're good to go, okay. Again, youth travel assistance, this time for the Goose Bay Judo Club. The FAP committee recommends council approve a cash contribution of $200 for each of the following participants: Alec Reardon, Chase Keefe, Hannah Clark, Lennox Strachan, Liam Russell, Raymond Kearney, Reese Hopkins, Mitchu Panashway, Ryan Turner, Braden Swain, Baba Veras, and Ty Dyson to assist with travel-related costs to attend the provincial judo tournament in St. John's in April.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Brumfield to extend again the $200 to each of the listed participants to attend a provincial judo tournament in St. John's. Seconded by Councillor Bennett. Any discussion?
It's Alex written on there.
Pardon me?
Alex.
Oh, Alex, yeah,
Yeah.
Reardon.
Should be Alex?
Alex, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Discussion, yep.
In regards to all of the travel assistance for youth, are they only able to apply for one per year? How does that work?
Well, it's never been brought up in the discussed or it's not in the policy manual for that, I don't think, right?
Okay, there's no
Yeah.
Yeah.
policy in place, one, okay.
I honestly think that, in this meeting alone, we've contributed a considerable amount. I
Yeah.
think that going forward, we need to have a conversation in terms of when there's more than one.
Yeah,
Because in this particular thing, we're probably over $4,000 in donations. What is the budget for this time?
20,000.
22,000.
And is that just for sports or for
No,
travel?
that's
This is not
the
sports
town's
only.
annual donation
That's-
budget in its entirety.
Okay, so we could easily see, and I mean, as funds are difficult to come up with, so I mean, spreading it around, we've used, between the last meeting and this meeting, so maybe we look at revisiting the policy to maybe team contributions or something, or have a discussion and just make sure that it doesn't all get, our whole donation policy doesn't get.
Would that
No,
discussion
don't
be
do it.
only in a finance meeting?
Yeah, I think it would go back to committee to have that discussion and then come back to council for some sort of recommendation.
Because I think to provide some clarity on that, it's not only teams, like you said, it's individuals, and it's not only sport, it's anybody wanting to travel, but there's no filter as to what you can apply for. So if I decide to go and apply for something,
I was under the if I recall correctly,
you
isn't it?
represent the town.
Yeah, but I thought it was for provincial,
National
national, provincial-
sports championships of some
Is
Yeah,
kind.
but they
intent-
haven't done that yet.
Just
Yes.
wait.
It's going,
It's intended to be when a youth is representing the town at some provincial or regional or national level.
Mhm.
But they're
Um,
going to provincials.
With,
Yeah, but they're at provincials, that's the
Mhm.
purpose of,
yeah, it's, with the change in policy 2 years ago in the application form,
okay.
what we've seen is a greater number of groups applying rather than the individual youth. So when we changed the form, it was, or changed the process, it was so that we knew that the association that the group or the student, youth was with, was aware of their funding request, as opposed to them going out and getting money wherever on their own.
Mhm.
And that was the purpose before, but what it led to is where we have one application coming in for 5, 6, 10
Yeah.
youth traveling as a group, when they're not necessarily selected to represent
Exactly.
on a team or an event or something.
But in these ones that we've approved today, they
That's
were
what I'm
all,
saying.
but no, but I mean, on the ones we've approved today, they're all representing,
No,
going to a provincial, they're not?
there's,
They haven't been
they're
selected
not selected,
by a
they're going to
provincial
the
level
competition.
Okay,
to
so,
Some
attend
have.
something.
okay, so,
Some have been.
yeah, so,
One I had to leave for.
yes, so yeah, I understand where you're going, so
Mhm.
in light of the fact that you're in conflict in that one, yeah, absolutely. So I think, just from a balanced approach, I mean, we only have limited funds in terms of donations.
Mhm.
If we gear it all towards this type of process, if we looked at if there's 10 kids going to a basketball tournament, maybe we just look at donations, if there's more than one for the same event, look at a team contribution to, that could be divvied up however. I mean, at the end of the day, fundraising is fundraising.
Yeah.
But I just think that from our perspective, I mean, this is $4,400 and
Yeah.
this one, the one before is gonna be, the meeting before we approved a bunch, so we'll quickly erode that $20,000 and it'll just be for one thing. So, if there's another group in town that wants to do something, that donation policy is gonna be exhausted, so, or the donation fund is gonna be exhausted. So maybe we'll, like I say, ask committee to look at, going forward. And also at the same time, it would be nice to know where the budget is in terms of that donation. Like there's a list, if we could find out as we're putting money to be donated, does it mean we give $5,000? Do we give 3,000? Do we spread it out more? That kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, I'd like to see a criteria.
There has to be a
Yeah.
criteria in
Because
place.
right now, I mean, we have the same thing with my work, is the funding could be exhausted really, really quick. If you look at minor soccer, if they were to play $300 or $200 per individual that's traveling to the provincial tournament, you're looking at thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars. And there is, like I said, there is no true criteria with regards to who gets awarded funding and who don't.
Okay. So, Councilor Rumble?
Just from policy, though, just the only bullet points that we do have, it says eligibility for, this is policy F0029, which is the one that we're following. The town will follow the following criteria for requests. Team members must be residents of Happy Valley-Goose Bay. The team or individual must have won the right to attend the event. The event must be associated or recognized by a national or provincial sport governing body or school board. Funding is limited to persons 19 years of age and under, and travel must be outside the Upper Lake Belleville area.
Right.
So those are the bullets that we're dealing with right now, it's just those 5 bullet points. So yeah, definitely, because of the intricacies and, I mean, we're a growing town and we've got so many organizations. And, I think in fairness of, if we can tweak it so that it's still very inclusive, we don't want to exclude anybody, but a more of a clear criteria.
Yeah, and I think, like I say, just in the event that, this one particular policy could erode our whole
It's half gone
donation
already,
policy,
it's
right? So,
March.
all right, so is everybody kind of in agreement that we ask committee to go back and sort of revisit that? Okay. That's it for your, no, one more, right?
We got one more.
Yep,
Did
one
we
more.
vote on that one?
Do we vote on that one? No, it's still discussion. Right, thank you. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, we've accepted that recommendation. Now the last item, sir.
Okay, the final one is a marketing request from RNC, the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. The FAP committee recommends council deny the request from the RNC Association for advertising in the Randall Community Guide.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Brumfield that we right now deny the request from the RNC Association for advertising. Seconded by Councillor Rumble. Discussion? All those in favour indicate aye. Contraminded? All right, that's it for your committee, sir?
That's it, yep.
All right, let's go to Municipal Services, and Councillor Bennett, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Municipal Service Committee met Tuesday, March 8th, 4:30 PM. Present, Councillor Todd Winters via telephone, Mayor George Andrews, CAO Nadine McCauley, Superintendent Water and Sewer Keith Pye, Superintendent of Public Works DJ Elliott, Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy, and myself. Regrets, Councillor Denise Rumble and Town Engineer Randy Dillon. Meeting was called to order at 4:36 PM. We reviewed previous minutes and action items with no errors or omissions. Managers' reports. Public Works, the manager's report was attached and reviewed. Crews performing regular seasonal duties, snow clearing, sanding, and repairs. Water and Sewer, the manager's report was attached and reviewed. No major issues at any of the facilities. COVID wastewater testing continues to be collected and shipped as per provincial specs. New turbidity meters for the water treatment facility are in and installation is ongoing. Calls for service are ongoing with lots of water and sewer freeze-ups. Engineering, all projects are moving forward. There are no sorry. Date of next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April, oh, I missed something there, didn't I? What did I miss? Please accept Mr. Mayor, please accept this, my report from Municipal Services.
Thank you, Councillor Bennett. Moved by Councillor Bennett that we accept the report from Municipal Services as presented, seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Any discussion? All those-
Discussions?
Oh, any discussion?
No, would that be the recommendations?
No, not yet. All those in favor, indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contraminded?
Stop
Now,
looking
sir,
at me.
we'll take your municipal service
Go.
recommendations.
Recommendations?
Yes.
Okay, so we have one recommendation to be put forward today under the COVID stimulation program. The Municipal Services Committee recommends that contract be awarded to LAT 49 in the amount of $35,161.25 and Greens Construction in the amount of $116,750 for the town office security upgrades.
It's been moved by Councillor Bennett that we award the two contracts as indicated for town hall or town office security upgrades. Seconded by Councillor Duffett. Discussion. Just to make note that these funds were money that we received from the provincial government through a COVID stimulus program. So we have it under a 90-10 arrangement. So we'll use that money. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contraminded? Thank you, sir. Any more from you? That's good. Okay. We'll move now to Protective Services.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Duffett.
Protective Services met on March 7th at 12 p.m. Present was Sergeant John Kenny of the RCMP, Protective Services Director Brad Butler, Constable Larry Baker, myself, Councillor Winters via telephone, Councillor Brumfield, CAO Nadine McCauley, and EA Kathy Eddy. Sergeant John Kenny joined us to discuss the monthly RCMP report that we receive. We may be looking into using this information provided for our town's website via an enforcement section. He noted there's a high number of calls such as disturbing the peace, which are directly related to mental health and addictions issues. He noted the immense help that the mobile crisis unit has been to their office. Constable Baker and the RCMP teamed up to do a few hours on patrol on snowmobiles recently. And we thank Sergeant Kenny for taking the time to meet with us and always being open to meet as needed. Recruitment for the volunteer firefighters brought in a very large number of interested folks. Training for the volunteers has resumed, and fire inspections are in full swing for businesses that have reopened since the ease of restrictions. The municipal emergency plan was completed and circulated to council. Council is now looking into taking emergency management training. The emergency system test will be upcoming in the next few months as it's done annually, and we are encouraging all residents to please sign up for this, and you can find that information on the town's website. Constable Baker has been asked if he would accept a nomination for the president of the NL Municipal Police Association. And some of the animal policies that you'll see in the recommendations will be coming forward to be changed. Some items discussed were the ongoing parking issues surrounding the QPMS. There's a major safety concern amongst some residents and emergency first responders, and this conversation has been open with the appropriate contacts for the school. And the next meeting will be held April 11th at 12 p.m. Please accept this as my Protective Services report for March.
All right, thank you, Councillor Duffett. Moved by Councillor Duffett that we accept her report as presented for Protective Services for the previous month. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? All right, we've accepted your report, and recommendations now. Floor is yours.
Thank you. We have two recommendations. Policy PS 0004, Procedure for Disposing of Animals. The Protective Services Committee recommends Council rescind Policy PS 0004 as the town no longer euthanizes animals.
Okay, moved by Councillor Duffett that we rescind Policy PS 0004 in reference to euthanizing animals. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion?
I've got one
Deputy
thing.
Mayor Wallace?
We've not done this for a while. This is just making the policy to reflect that, right?
That's correct. I believe since Constable Baker's been on, we've gotten rid of that in the facility. But now this is just to make it official in the policy.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Recommendation is passed. Next recommendation.
The Municipal Emergency Management Plan. Protective Services Committee recommends Council adopt the new updated Municipal Emergency Management Plan in principle and send it to the Director of Emergency Management for approval.
Okay, moved by Councillor Duffett that we accept the emergency management plan in principle and start the process to have it approved by the Director. Seconded by Councillor Bennett. A discussion? I did make a couple of suggestions today in terms of content as good. Just a phone line issue. So if we need to bug out of our location, we do have fixed phones in the EOC, but if we do have to bug out, this location doesn't have power, is no good. There's no mention of cell phone use. To have cell phones as a backup or a couple of cell phones in terms of that being done. So if we had to go, the phone lines are here, fine, but if we're not here, they can't be, or the EOC is not here, then they can't be used. And I know our secondary location is Masonic Lodge, but to have those phones in two places would be difficult, but just as a contingency to have cell phones, that will be dedicated for that purpose, right? So, something I've noted. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Is there any idea time frame in terms of when this will be sort of reviewed by FES? Do you know? Is it a long process to get it reviewed?
The fire chief said it could be a few months
Okay.
before
Alright.
they get through it all and come back with their approval.
Right, because it would be an education process then to get the other groups in, to tell them what's in our plan and work through, and then look forward to either a tabletop or an actual exercise of some kind. All right, and a lot of work in that plan, so thank the fire chief and his staff. Okay, approval of checks.
Okay, the FA Finance Administration Policy Committee recommends council approve the checks totaling $456,657.17 for the month of March, or February.
All right, so it's moved by Councillor Brumfield and the committee that we approve checks in the noted amount. Seconder? Seconded by Councillor Duffett. Any discussion? Seems to be a cheaper month this month. No discussion? All those in favour indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded?
Can I just,
Motion is passed.
I gotta make a note, we have to change the amount. The first two checks on that list are not meant to be there. Those are items that are held in a fund for another organization and is not council monies.
Okay,
So that, those two amounts need to come off of the total check amount.
so we'll do another motion, or do we rescind?
We're going to correct the amount.
Okay. So, stand by as the calculator heats up here.
The corrected amount should be 453,934.48.
So do I read
Okay,
this
so-
again?
Yeah, we'll need a new motion.
Huh?
We need a new motion, right?
Yeah.
amend.
Yeah, because it's already passed.
So does amend the previous? Or?
You can amend that one, because it's going to be the two same people. So.
Okay, I amend the previous motion to change the amount from $456,657.17 to $453,934.48.
Okay, so we're revising the motion to the indicated amount, to move by Councillor Brumfield, seconded by Councillor Rumbold. So just to be clear, that the funds that weren't are just funds we hold in I guess, trust for lack of a better word, for other organizations.
Yes.
Okay, all right, any further discussion? Cheaper again, I guess. All those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Okay, we've approved the checks. Councillors' forum, I'm going to start with Councillor Wetters.
Thanks, Mayor. Just one thing is, I'd like to say thanks to the CSR staff for getting the rink built again. I've noticed there's quite a few people using it, the end walking trail. I know it was really short time period in which they had to do it, and they got it done. And speaking with staff, once we start much earlier next summer, next fall, there will be a better ice surface base so that it can last. It's a little bit, with the weather warming up, it's a little bit choppy up there now, but hopefully we get a better base next summer, or next fall, and it'll be around for a lot longer, and hopefully we can use that whole park, the Husky Park, as more of a, have more purpose to what it does, instead of just being a ballpark in the summer and a rink in the winter. So looking forward to working with the new CSR director when they're hard into finding out what we can do with that space during the winter months.
Good. That's it, sir?
Yep.
All right. Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, thank you.
Skipping around here tonight. Yep.
You said me, right?
Yes, you, sir. Yep. Sorry.
Confused all of us.
Okay, we're in March now, we're getting into our nice warm weather, everybody's out going to the cabins on skidoos and that. I'd like to just remind all of our snowmobilers that we do have our speed limits on the sides of the roads that they should be abiding by, instead of just scooting down like just crazy speeds on the roads, really, right? Next item we finally do have another new DFO who has been here before. I'm hoping now that we can finally get this out behind us, because we're talking now basically 4 years of delayed audits. And we've been here now as a council for 6 months. So I think we have to step up and get a push on this as soon as we can, because we really do have to get this through and completed and to the satisfaction of municipal affairs and all of us as well, right? The other item, finally now COVID is being lifted, the restrictions. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, it's a good thing, I think, but if you're vaccinated, I guess it's a good thing. If you're not, it's a bad thing, but I mean, it's your choice unless you have health issues. I'm hoping most people would be vaccinated now with everything's on the go with this COVID. And then the final item is just basically, like I said, spring thaw is gonna start flooding real soon. I feel that in the air. We all can, so just be a bit cautious when you're out and around, and I appreciate what our staff have to go through every time, this time of the year. Because believe it or not, the springtime is the time when the water and sewer are getting the most busiest for freeze-ups, not in the wintertime, but spring for freeze-ups. That's because the frost is coming out of the ground and it gets into the pipes. Okay, and other than that, that's all I had to say for the council forum, and thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brumfield. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to take a minute to thank the water and sewer crowd and the boys on the roads for keeping the roads open and the water running. Like Councillor Brumfield said, there's a lot of freeze-ups this time of year. Thank Nadine for giving me that look every time we get carried away here. And keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Keeping me in line. And as Councillor Duffett alluded to earlier, mental health and addiction is the most calls that's being reported with the authorities and stuff like that. Just remind people to be kind, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bennett. Councillor Rumble.
Councillor Bennett says be kind, so I'm gonna take a little bit of what Councillor Broomfield said too, and just say be respectful, because we know that the COVID restrictions are changing, and there are people who will choose no longer to mask, and there are those who will choose to mask, and personal choice, as Councillor Broomfield said, and so just, you know, that where your comfort level is and where my comfort level is we're all going to be in different places at different times, but as long as we respect each other and everybody's choices, I think we'll do fine. I wanted to mention the amazing job that Terry's Tents did in preparing for us a flag that we can fly here at the town hall for the people in Ukraine. We learned very quickly that there is not a magic cabinet back here in the town hall that has flags of the world, and I think we were quite fortunate that they have a very simple and easy to construct flag. So I think we fly that proudly, and our thoughts and prayers as a council, as a community, are with anybody who's in turmoil and unrest. And what it does is it gives us reflection and appreciation for living in a place where we're safe, and our biggest worry has to be how much slush is on the road or if our pipes freeze up. So definitely gives you perspective, and I think it looks absolutely wonderful to drive past the town hall and see that flag waving, and it's waving hard right now because we're sitting in council chambers here tonight and you can hear the rafters on the roof, so it's definitely waving proudly this evening. And that's it.
Thank you, Councillor Rumble. Councillor Duffett.
Thank you, Mayor. Kind of hard going at the end of the line. Everyone already touched on everything, but I'd like to say thank you to the heavy equipment operators that have been out there the last, you know, all winter, but the last couple of weeks we've had quite the dump, and I can only imagine what that means for them. So just a big thanks to them.
Indeed. Deputy Mayor Wallace.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
I've got a list. And it's all thank yous. I mean, you think from the last meeting we had, the Tema Cup was a huge success and raised almost $6,000 for Ronald McDonald House. So congratulations to Constable Larry Baker and the organizers for a seamless and very professional event. Last night, Trappers Cup at the arena happened, and it was fantastic to get out there and watch live sports again and admire the athleticism of our residents, young and older. And it was a lot of fun. I sat in the middle of Northwest River, and my gosh, it was entertaining, for sure. The tenacity and resilience of our youth is second to none, and that's just proven with the activities and the sporting teams that we're supporting this evening. For those going to provincials in a few weeks, and logistically we're at a disadvantage, but this doesn't hinder the ability and drive of those athletes. The support from coaches, family, parents, and the community proves the notion it takes a community to raise a child. We wish all the very best to those that are going out, the All-Star Hockey, the AAA Hockey, Snowflake Figure Skating Club, there's soccer athletes for NLSA provincial team, judo, and congrats to MMC, junior and senior, and the female teams, both male and female, participating at regionals over the weekend. The male and female senior teams are now off to provincials. They won by landslide, so they did really well. Thank you to the Friendship Center for hosting a wonderful brunch we had last Friday. We received more insight and information from their presentation on their programs and future initiatives. A huge shout out to Grand River Snowmobile Club for the superb trail system this year through the community. Tourists can only dream of what we have, and right at our back doorstep, we have these amazing trails that people pay just to experience as a excursion as such, and it's right here for us to use. And I guess with what happened yesterday with all the snow, we'll be using that a little bit longer. Lastly, but certainly not least, is a shout out to the team on the roads clearing and plowing, as you mentioned as well. The amount of snow we received this winter and the hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and it's very much appreciated to the guys out there doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll scratch off all mine. Yeah. I sat with Councillor Winters last night for part of the Trappers Cup, and yeah, it's good to see, you know, some of the older fellows that, you know, were younger when it first started are the older guys now and the veterans there, and I'm sure there's a lot of sore fellows standing around and working around today. So yeah, it was good, and it's nice to see that tradition continue. Might be next year a nice suggestion to have that on, if the weather, maybe on the outdoor rink. So, you know, maybe a suggestion. I'd like to send a shout out to a young guy from here, David Roberts, who prepared some, as part of his course, prepared some stuff for us for consideration for our summer rec programs. Tax bills, of course, everybody's dreaded time, but they go out now in a few days, and there's the PSA out today, I think, in terms of that. One thing that I notice going around, civic numbering. Please take the time to number your house. It could mean difference of life or death, and I'll use, for instance, my street, Adams Loop, as an example. The numbers aren't, you know, I guess easy. Around one side is easy, but when you come around the other side, it's almost opposite, sort of. So one side of the street, you would think that the numbers on the other side would be sort of corresponding, but it's a bit different. So take that time to stick those two numbers up, or three numbers, because it could mean a huge difference in saving someone's life. The last thing, or one thing here, I'd like to just send a big recognition, I guess, shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Dawes' son is aboard one of the frigates that are going now to NATO, I guess, over in the European conflict. So, you know, hope all safety in that to him and his crew members on the frigate. Lastly, tomorrow evening at 4 o'clock, our community is going to be graced by Elvis Stoico and his wife Gladys, and he'll be here all weekend for the ice show on Saturday and Sunday. He's doing some work with the figure skaters, and as well having a meet and greet on Sunday, I think. So be neat if you see him around. He is going to be doing some activities in terms of, I think he may be going to a cultural event with me on Thursday, but he's also going to be doing dog sledding and things like that, so he'll enjoy the community. So if you see him, he's pretty friendly. Reach out and go. And as I sit here now saying my few words, I hear the fire alarm in the back going off, so I'm hoping that the sirens aren't for something serious. Snow clearing it's crazy out there. I mean, you know, we can't do much. March is our snow month, but the guys are doing the best job that they can. So when you're coming to the stop signs, be a bit careful. You do have to be out in it now, out in the road in order to see anything, but just be a little careful. And yeah, the skidoos on the roads, as Councillor Brumfield has mentioned, just be careful as well, because we don't want to lose anybody unnecessarily. And with that, I'll turn it over to our staff. Anything? If she ever said anything, I'd be really.
The only thing I really want to mention is that this is the month that we recognize women, I guess, and this year we have actually hired women in some roles that we haven't historically had women in. We have, well, my self as CAO, but we have Tina Chason, Water Sewer Assistant, first female Water and Sewer Assistant the town has had, and Leslie Rogers, first female heavy equipment operator that the town has hired to my knowledge. So I'd like to recognize them for their roles in their trades, and hopefully we get more women out there.
Absolutely wonderful. And seeing now that we've coming down, hopefully, the other side of COVID, can we maybe look at getting back into like employee appreciation sort of event of some kind? Well, it doesn't have to be anything big or huge, but I mean, just to appreciate that side of things, and we've been kind of in a I guess lockdown from that perspective. So
Next event will be in June.
Mr. Dillon, sir.
No, thanks, Mayor. I'm all good. My throat is getting a little bit better anyway. I'll pass this evening. Thank you.
Glad to see that you're well and back with us. All right. Anything else to bring council before I proceed to close? It's a long meeting tonight, but good information. There's lots going on, and it is our 6-month anniversary, I guess. Yeah. So all right. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved by Councillor Duffett. Meetings.